Welcome to today's prophetic encounter. Today we are going to concentrate immediately on the topic that says the prophet's honor. There is an honor for the prophet, and we have preponderance of the verses that corroborate that theme, the prophet's honor. And immediately I'm diving into that topic in order to bring to your notice that there is a growth in the prophetic ministry. There is always a growth. There are levels of prophetic ministry, and there is a level when a prophet will become a man of honor in the sight of God. It is a credit that is generated from track records of consistency and integrity. You know that the office of a prophet is very, very precarious. It's not something that is easy, because the prophet is within a test. Before the office of the prophet comes to the level of honor, it must go through tests. And it is that time that the prophet becomes something else entirely different from what he was when he was about to make a journey to start up his prophetic life. I want to make references here. There is a difference between John the Baptist and Elijah. For instance, John the Baptist, in his 3 years or so years of ministry, he was a man we can call the messenger. We start the prophetic life by becoming messengers of God. We become messengers. We begin to proclaim the oracles of God. We begin to hear God in the silence of our meditative prayers. God speaks to our heart, and we want to share those messages with those around us. This is exactly what happened in the life of John the Baptist. He entered into the wilderness to seek the face of God, and there the prophetic office opened to him. He started operating as a messenger of his time. And when he came out of the wilderness, many people were looking for him from every nook and cranny of Judea, Galilee. They were looking for John the Baptist to hear the words that promises to save their lives. And John could be called an errant prophet or a messenger. This prophet doesn't actually need to do extraordinary signs or to proclaim certain kinds of words or make commands and things happen. John didn't do any miracle during his earthly ministry. No single miracle was recorded in the life and ministry of John. But we find a lot of miracles. If you read Sirach 48, you find out where Sirach was singing the praises of Elijah the prophet. He said, "Who is like thee, Elijah? 3 times you called fire from heaven. Many times you called down rain from heaven." And if you look into the life of Elijah, Elijah didn't consult God in moments when he made proclamations and decrees. He was operating on another level, that he has assumed the position of honor, that now he starts representing God in the realms of the elements. There are elements, and these elements are spiritual realities. They obey the words of God, and they are bound to obey the words of the prophet. Elijah begins to speak to the rain, and rain listens to Elijah, and Elijah starts speaking to the fire, and the fire responds appropriately. This is another level. But I am not in any way telling you that between the messenger prophet and the sitting prophet, because that's the distinction I want to make here. There is an errant prophet and there is a sitting prophet. A sitting prophet has assumed a position higher than any human being around him. He can be seen as somebody who is actually saying things that God honors. He speaks and God honors. That's the honor of the prophet. And these people have become a reward in themselves. They are moving rewards. When you read Matthew chapter 10 verse 41, that is what Jesus means when he says that anyone who gives a cup of water to a prophet is likely and must get his prophetic honor, his prophetic reward. Anyone who honors a righteous man or an upright man in the name of the upright man, or honors a prophet in the name of the prophet, not in the name of God, but in the name of the prophet, that person receives the prophet's reward and not God's reward. There is something I want to bring out here. That prophet becomes a kind of an institution in himself. He assumes an authority we could only give to God. He assumes a position that is godlike. For instance, Elijah. When Elijah commanded that there will be no rain for 3.5 years, by whose authority was he doing that? He was doing it by the authority and the honor of his prophetic life, of his prophetic office. He is not actually asking God, oh God, let it happen. He knows it will happen. When Elijah in 1 Kings chapter